AKPOKUEDIKE duty call in Anambra. I demurred, but accepted because Ikechoke is my friend and junior brother. I hesitated not out of disrespect for the subject of the book or the author, but I felt that it was going to be one of those books, simply chronicling the journey of a successful man, produced very quickly in the twilight of a regime and lacking in intellectual rigor. But Ikechoke is a very serious and respected professional with a rigorous mind. But he has also now surprised me as a writer. This is not an ordinary biography of a great man. It is a portrait of what it takes to get to the top, weaved artistically to present a wholesome life with a menu of lessons. I am certain that the author did not realize that the book he has authored about his friend, His Excellency Governor Willie Obiano AKPOKUEDIKE, the governor of Anambra State, with all his squeaky clean image, will be a reference book on political recruitment, inclusive governance, loyalty and political fidelity, empathic and result-oriented leadership, and talent hunt for political positions. In this scintillating and educative odyssey, Ikechoke takes us to the roots, the family, the parents, the schools, the town or nature where he grew up. It is these things that instilled the discipline and forged the sterling character that underpinned the meteoric rise of Governor Obiano and his leadership style. It is also a story about love, triumph over adversity, and God's faithfulness to those that wholeheartedly trust in him. And Ikechoke did not rely on Governor Obiano to tell his own story, nor did he sit alone to make up joyful stories. He and a handful of talented researchers tracked down those that knew Chief Obiano before and after being governor to piece together an account that is at once diverse, logical, and authentic. This is therefore a well-researched book of 184 pages, 15 chapters, with fully documented bibliography and sources. The first lesson I take from the book, and this is why the book is important, and I think this is why people should read it. The first major lesson, and for me the most important one from this book, is that political recruitment requires a thorough background check. Our decisions and choices are a product of our culture and biology. An individual's moral philosophy in personal life and in governance is shaped by the same culture and biology. A person is who he is because of his parental upbringing, his socialization at home, in the church and schools he attended. Governor Obiano's parents, a teacher and a merchant, were disciplinarians deeply rooted in the Catholic faith. The young Mother Brochukwu was an altar boy who helped in household chores and helped his mother in her business. There was no room for truancy, and his parents could vouch for his behavior 100%. The schools Governor Obiano attended, Holy Trinity Primary School and Christ the King College, both at Onitsha, were not only known for academic excellence, they were institutions where respect and discipline, the ethos of hard work, were enforced and character molded. I should know I am a proud product of the Holy Trinity Primary School and was there about the same time that AKPOKUEDIKE attended the school. In fact, I had a problem with Chioke because I said, how come I'm reading the book and discovering that the governor may even have been my classmate in the same Holy Trinity Primary School? Because in 1967, I was in primary 5. He probably was in primary 6, I don't know. But we were there about the same time. So we need to find a way to do our reunion after this. In the book, honesty, humility, simplicity, discipline, personal decency, joyfulness, forgiving spirit, prayerful, respectful, generosity, trustworthiness, and accountability were some of the words and phrases used to describe Chief Obiano's parents. And these were not simply words. Real stories were told to convey how they manifest in their daily interactions in business, in school administration, and in community and church leadership. Qualities they passed on to their children. Boys Scout taught the young Willie Obiano responsible citizenship, perseverance, character development, leadership, and self-reliance. His self-assuredness came from being rooted in his culture. It was said that Teacher Obiano's children were models of responsible childhood. During the Biafran-Nigerian War, Governor Obiano learned from his father that the civil crisis should not stop learning. It was not surprising that the lockdown during COVID-19 did not stop learning in Anambra. This was Governor Obiano's pedigree. It is therefore not surprising that he rose to the pinnacle of his banking profession, retired without any blemish, and was searched and recruited to be the governor of Anambra State even after retirement. These same sterling characteristics informed his style of governance, his drive in office, and his penchant for results. Those who encouraged and supported Governor Obiano to run for office knew of this pedigree, knew about his character, knowledge, and professional accomplishments. To their credit, the governor did not disappoint. In his successor, Governor Obiano has also demonstrated that he understands the value of pedigree, knowledge, vision, character, experience, competence, and continuity for result-oriented political leadership. One of the banes of our democracy, and this is why this is an important lesson, is the poor and uninformed political recruitment process. There is hardly any background check. These days, once you have made some money, you will want to be a governor. And more often than not, the ambition is without any agenda. You heard Choke say they spend sleepless nights crafting an agenda. Some people want to be governor without an agenda. And our people will say, Ijebego, onye bu igu ka ewu na-eso. And I dare ask, are we goats? Does anyone care about the pedigree, character, experience, and knowledge of onye bu igu? Could the igu be your last supper? Reading this book exposes one to what it takes to be prepared to successfully lead a people. And not just any people, a talented, knowledgeable, and enterprising people of Anambra. So that is a huge lesson, the pedigree that someone brings to the job of governance. Onyebo, your classmate, Kedu school ijel, who are your parents? If we are going to marry, and you JUS, Monoye Bibu governor, and say Onyebu Igu, Kewu Gesu. There are unique leadership lessons. Speaking about leadership, Ike Choke, through myriads of interviews conducted with close associates, colleagues, and appointees, weaves together a coherent story about Governor Obiano that reveals his humanity, kindness, and warmth. But he also astutely presents the book as the leadership text. On his humanity and kindness, Governor Obiano has no boundary. From his church in Bagada to his church in Aguleri, he tasked himself and his friends. From recognizing and donating to Old Rangers International Football Club players and pop stars of the 70s, gifts to amnestied prisoners, to pan-Igbo employment. There are Enugu people, there are other people in the employment of Anambra State. We saw an unbounded generosity. Interestingly, his wife, Ebele, was a co-traveler in this generosity binge. So if the wife was not supporting this, I don't think it would really have supported. So in this generosity, they were together. It is no wonder that one of his friends felt that unseen, unsung, and apostolic work of Obiano was what took him to the government house. I did not know that AKPOKUEDIKE was a chieftaincy title he got before he became governor until I read the book. Indeed, the hero, which is what AKPOKUEDIKE represents, was summoned several times by the church and community. And in all of those circumstances, he saved the day. More importantly, in writing about Governor Obiano, Ike Choke presents a text that lists the great, somewhat unusual attributes of a leader. A happy fellow. Obiano is a jolly fellow. A great sense of humor. You have to have a sense of humor to be a great leader. Exacting standards. He demands a lot from those who work for him. He has enthusiasm and passion. Self-assuredness, really dresses to be happy and not to conform. Simplicity, at home with all classes of people. Ambitious goal setting, big picture guy that brutes no excuses, you just have to deliver. Ability to pick a winning team, generosity, dual concern for the people and the land. This is the philosophy of the government. A giant dreamer, willing to take gigantic risks, and now the audacity of history. The Biafran War Memorial, Ozemezina, it was really an audacity of history. High sense of optimism. So I was telling Choke, in your book, I think we're going to do another book, because what I've outlined as the characteristics of leadership is not in the normal text. We are now confronting a new menu of leadership qualities that we need to develop, simply because you wrote this book. In the rest of the book, Ike Choke presents the achievement of Governor Obiano in key areas in a credible and balanced manner, using third-party impartial observers, key functionaries and beneficiaries. In security, we are treated to the genesis of Operation Umkochap and its many achievements, the use of CCTV, the deployment of street lights, and complete surveillance of the state by sea, air, and land. At one time, Anambra was judged the safest state in Nigeria, and the actions of the governor debunked the helplessness most governors claimed. In agriculture, the focus was on key crops, where it was felt that the state had a comparative advantage with the right bias in favor of commercial farming. Tremendous results have been recorded with rice production, for instance, jumping from 70,000 metric tons in 2014 to about 345,000 metric tons in 2020, and about 500 metric tons in 2021. Similar meteoric rise in output has been recorded in cassava, maize, nuts, spices, and some of which are now destined for export. Other impressive initiatives were in Efibo and poultry. The key point in all of this, according to Ike Choke, is the creative partnership between the state and the private sector that was constructed to produce these impressive results. Second, the detailed identification of the problems, a follow-through in the implementation of agreed solutions, and the involvement of the beneficiaries were some of the unique attributes of the Obiano administration that the author noted. And the institutional support that agencies such as ANSEPA gave to this economic resurgence was also acknowledged. In keeping with Ana Alo Olo, Ana Alo Madu, Recognition must be given to the remarkable achievements that were recorded in infrastructure, education, and health. The author takes the reader on a tour of the new infrastructure that open up riverine areas, farm and oil fields. Today, Anambra is classified an oil-producing state. The setting up of the health insurance agencies and enrollment of Indian Anambra into the insurance scheme is not only a unique achievement, but unequaled in this part of the world, part of the country. In the concluding chapter, the author looks into the future and discusses the path, the turmoil, the perseverance that produced the governor-elect. He stated that Obiano did not set out to support the election of someone he wants to control, but someone who can take Anambra to greater heights. This is uncommon in the current annals of political succession in Nigeria and attests to the pedigree of Governor Obiano, who understands that being a governor is yet another job, and a tough one at that. The book is about leadership of Governor Obiano in Anambra State in the past 8 years. The author has painstakingly painted a balanced portrait of the man, his antecedents, his character, his professionalism, his devotion to family and church, his achievements, and left us in utter admiration of Willie Obiano, or even, I may dare say, Billy Martins. If you want to know about Billy Martins, you have to read the book. In this detailed presentation, we also learn huge lessons on political recruitment, teamwork, loyalty, governance, leadership, and effective political succession. I have thoroughly enjoyed reading this book, and I recommend it highly. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.